Now we are talking about this tremendous hour here. There is a significant description about this in the Book of Fate, Book 6, Canto 2. Page, the line number, we will go to 108.38. 8.38. Now, here, Narad is answering the Queen Mother's query. Query is a very mild word to say. She is in anguish. She is disturbed. Her daughter has chosen a person who is going to die tomorrow. And no mother will like her daughter to be a widow after marriage. And she tells to her daughter, forget about this boy, you find some other place. But then Savitri is fixed in her will, in her determination. She says, I know why I chosen, etc., etc., and she remains firm in the resolve. She is not going to change at all, you see. Yeah. She is not going to change at all, you see. And then this lady is helpless. She is persuading her with all kind of arguments and whatnot. She is not listening to her, and this is the fate of her daughter tomorrow. Her husband is going to die. How can she accept? You see, not only this boy is living in a forest, he has lost his kingdom, he has no palace, he has no worldly riches. In addition to that, he is going to die also. So what kind of this joy is she is kind of natural, you see, for her, see, all that. And then, but this girl, she says, no, I have chosen, finished. I'm not going to change at all. I know how to meet fate if it is there, etc., etc. Then she questions Narad. Is this your God who has created this cruel world? What kind of world your God has created? She's questioning Narad, you see. And Narad, of course, comes well prepared to answer this question. He's come all the way from heaven. He knew this will kind of ask, and he's ready to give the answer, you see. He's ready, he's set for that, you see. But next one, is this your God who has created this dark world, the world of death and all kind of ignorance and whatnot? What kind of God is this? This is what the mother says, a foolish question. The mother says, you cannot ask, is this God who has created this world of ignorance? It is a foolish question. So Savitri's mother was asking a foolish question. The right question would be, how has in God's world this has happened? The right question would be, how does it happen in God's world that there is death, there is ignorance, there is suffering, there is misery? How does it happen? That is the right question. You can't say, it is your God who has created death and ignorance and all that. That is a foolish question. So mother would immediately dismiss Savitri's mother stated, you are asking a foolish question, keep quiet, go away. But Narad is patient. He has come prepared to give an answer. He has come here to justify the ways of God to man. Why this happened, etc. And then in response to that, he says that the Savior comes, he takes the burden upon himself. He suffers, he meets misery, he carries the cross, and then it is in that context there is a long description of the crucifixion scene, how Christ is carrying the cross. Long description of the crucifixion scene. Therefore, it is finished. This is a phrase straight from the Bible. It is finished. Means Christ is on the cross. He is gasping for breath. And he wants some water to drink. And then somebody comes with a of vinegar into his mouth. And he sucked that vinegar. And he says, it is finished. Whatever was there in that sponge, it is finished. Now that is the physical sense of it is finished on the cross. But it is finished symbolically in terms of the occult content. It means the work for which he had come here, that is finished. Now I can take leave. I can go away. The work for which I have come, to pay the price, to pay the debt God owes to man, that has been paid. And therefore it is finished. He has paid the bill. Therefore it is finished. The dread, mysterious sacrifice offered by God's martyr body for the world. Gethsemane and Calvary are his lot. He carried a cross on which man's soul is nailed. His escort is the curse of the crowd. Insult and jeer are his right's acknowledgement. Two thieves slain with him mock his mighty death. You cannot save yourself and you want to save the world. That is what the two thieves were saying to him on the cross. See. Two thieves slain. There are very beautiful paintings of this, Very beautiful paintings are there. Rembrandt's painting particularly is very beautiful about this one. Two thieves slain with him mock his mighty death. He has trod with bleeding brow the Saviour's way. He is walking the Saviour's way. He who has found his identity with God pays with the body's death his soul's vast life. That is how he is paying the debt with his body's death. Pays with the body's death his soul's vast life. His knowledge immortal triumphs by his death. His knowledge immortal triumphs. He dies, but what remains is his knowledge behind. He goes away physically. Now, there is something significant about these three lines. He who has found his identity with God pays with the body's death his soul's vast light. His knowledge immortal triumphs by his death. These three lines. You see, toward the end of composition of Savitri, so to say, around 15th November 1950, around 15th November 1950, Shevendra had asked Nirodharan to bring out the Savitri drafts which were there in the drawers. Draft pertaining to the Book of Fate. And Book of Fate was the last one which was read out to Shevendra mid-November 1950. Book of Fate, the whole book. In that book, he added three important passages. The last dictation which he gave was around 15th November. And these three lines belong to one of those three passages dictated at that time. These three lines. Around 15th November 1950. These three passages, three lines. There were three passages, and of those three passages, these are three lines. The other passage toward the end of this book, a passage of 72 lines, was dictated at that time, and that passage is 112.43.
112 point?
112, 43.
40, 40.
Queens, try no more to change the secret will. From this line onward till the end of the section, 112.60. You got it?
14.
112, 43.
And the 43.
42. Oh, Queens, 12 not.
Oh, yes, here.
Oh, yeah.
143, 112.43. From that point till the end of the section, 112.60. These 72 lines were the absolutely last dictation by Savitri. Absolutely the last dictation. These 72 lines. Therefore, the last line which he had uttered was, "But leave her to her mighty self and fate." That was the last line, the last word which Savitri uttered in Savitri is fate. Fate is the last word he uttered.
And he left it to her.
Left it to her.
Yeah. So all these things are connected, you see.
Nobody knows this.
Yeah.
Absolutely the last dictation, 112 points. Mighty self and fate. Leave to her. Savitri is there. Leave to her fate, to herself. She will tackle everything. Queen has no place there at all. You stand away from that. Let her do her work.
That's right.
Yeah. In fact, it is for this purpose he had come all the way from his home in paradise.
And just before Queen, there is a little square.
Square, yeah, it is a paragraph.
Ah, it's a paragraph.
It is a paragraph in this section.
Okay.
One square is a paragraph, two squares is a section. So the last line is, "But leave her to her mighty self and fate." Now let's go back to the previous passage,
She has trust.
108.40. He who has found his identity with God pays with the body's death his soul's vast light. His knowledge immortal triumphs by his death. The hour of where death was fixed, a seed shall be sown in death's tremendous hour. This is absolutely autobiographical. A decision was taken already by the time to leave the body. Death's tremendous hour was already fixed here. And the autobiographical sense is very powerfully present in these three lines here. His decision to withdraw. Now, he who has found his identity with God, there is no question about it. His identity with God, there is no question about that thing. Pays with the body that he has to pay, he has to sacrifice. The old body has to be given up. Old body has to be given up if a new body is required. What is the old body? The old body is made of the entire past of the creation. Unless the entire past is abandoned, the future cannot come. You have to abandon the entire past. So everything which is there in the old body, that entire past has to be in the opposite manner abandoned. From that point onward, the new body can begin. That is the death's tremendous hour. And this is what has happened here when Shivananda withdrew in 1950. That time, this tremendous others. Now, see, otherwise I don't see any specific reason why he should have added these three lines in the context of the crucifixion description. He is describing Christ's scene, whole thing, and immediately he inserts these three lines there. And they look so seamless, so natural. If you don't have the background, you will not suspect that these were added later on at all, you see. The description is absolutely seamless, you see, without any joint anywhere, you see. He who has found his identity with God, well, that is what Christ also had, pays with the body's death, that is what Christ did. He shows vast light. So these two lines are applicable in that sense to both Christ and to Sri Aurobindo. But this is specifically to Sri Aurobindo is brought out by the next line. His knowledge immortal triumphs by his death. It is not his love immortal. His knowledge immortal triumphs by his death. It is that which is brought out. It is what that knowledge is that which makes it absolutely autobiographical. Had he said his love immortal triumphed by his death, well, it will go to Christ. It will go to Christ. But that one single word fixes up the whole sense. Shivan came with knowledge, with the writing pen. So your this tremendous hour, what we were saying, is here, and yeah. And perhaps we may keep on talking for hours and hours like that, and in a foolish manner we keep on discussing and all that kind of a thing. But what the real author's sense, who knows?
She did something.
Who knows that? Who knows that? In a certain manner we can talk and discuss anything like that, but the real author's sense, we have no idea at all about that thing. What is really happening, what is happening also, we have no idea at all. We are really blind, in this sense. So this is the description about the Gayatri Mantra. 24 syllables, 24 lines, 24,000 lines, and his death, the contents of the syllable, most auspicious form, Varam Rupam. It's a very, very powerful phrase in the whole mantra. The entire thrust is there. The quintessence of Sri Aurobindo's yoga is fixed in that single phrase. Varam Rupam, auspicious form. That is what I want. Beautiful body, happy body, lustrous body. This is what happens. And the seed was sown there earlier. And this has happened for the first time in the entire spiritual history.